No other artist in the history of music has been able to have this kind of effect on the world.
The glitter, it has settled, and Taylor Swift has moved on to her next concert venue.
It's very top secret with Taylor Swift, and rightfully so.
The biggest possible show you can put on, right?
The local economies are benefiting.
Swift's Eras Tour has generated more than $4 billion in spending.
How has she been able to change the game with her music, with her fan base?
Is someone to whom a lot of people find it easy to connect.
She has a way of making everyone feel special and connected.
What do you make of the Taylor Swift phenomenon?
It empowers women to feel like they can sort of buy and do anything.
That's a Taylor Swift effect.
She's royalty.
She can make anything happen.
Swifty Dad!
How many people end up going to those concerts in any given city? What does it mean for restaurants? What does it mean for commerce? You're talking about certain places where it could actually move the needle on the economic activity of either a city or even a whole country. It's mind-boggling.
Taylor Swift has caught almost everyone's attention this year, but her influence might be boosting the economy too. Let me explain.
Misty Hegenes. I am an associate professor at the University of Kansas and author of upcoming book titled Swiftonomics: Women in Today's Economy. I am an expert on gender in the economy. I study inequality, a lot of different aspects of economic growth and development. Swiftonomics, which is all about how women act economically in their daily lives, and the muse is Taylor Swift. I first noticed Taylor when I saw the video for The Man, the music video for her song The Man, which is on her Lover album. First of all, watching that video, if you watch it and nobody gives you like a heads up and you get to the very, very end, you're just really shocked that the actor in the video portraying the man is Taylor herself. The lyrics of The Man really talk about the struggles of women in their work lives and in their careers, and how they ascend or don't in whatever industry they're in.
There's a different vocabulary for men and women in the music industry, right?
Give me an example.
Okay, a man does something, it's strategic. A woman does the same thing, it's calculated. A man is allowed to react, a woman can only overreact.
I have a lecture on female empowerment, and the song that I play at the end of that class is The Man. That whole song is particularly poignant for someone, like me, who's a female administrator. Trying to think, I'm so sick of running as fast as I can, wondering if I could get there quicker if I was a man.
Maybe it's like, I'm so sick of running as fast as I can, wondering if I'd get much further if I were a man. If I was a man, I was a man.
I think every female administrator has said those words at some point in their career.
In the song The Man, Taylor Swift really talks about the fact that men are dominant in business. In her performance on stage at her concert, she's wearing a suit, she's dressed like a business person, a businessman. And what she's saying is that women should be as powerful as men are. It's a really direct message, and it's really empowering to the very young women who are her biggest fans.
She's a business, and you don't do what Taylor Swift does without understanding how to build a business, how to communicate with a target audience, how to build loyal fans. And there's certainly things that she has done and that her management team has done, her publicity team has done, her marketing team has done, that our students are doing every day when they go out into the industry.
I think we're really lucky that Taylor, with her popularity, with her authenticity, has given us permission to think about women in a way that is more powerful, that is broader than what we used to see in advertising, 40 years ago.
I won't sharpen pencils. I can't file. My boss calls me indispensable.
Miss Jones.
Just a minute.
Will you make a copy of this?
Naturally.
We've been gradually getting there, but with someone like Taylor Swift, who isn't afraid to talk about her perspective, her point of view, the way she views the world, the way she feels about brands and companies, I think that it empowers women to feel like they can sort of buy and do anything.
If you've ever been to one of her concerts, she's always got the big screen. She talks to her fans almost individually when she's there, and she says, you know, people will cheer, and she'll go, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're making me feel this way." And I look at the little Swifties around me, and they're just totally eating it up. And I don't know how you would translate that to a company, but I can figure that if you respect and serve your customers in the same way, I think that I certainly wouldn't take them for granted, but I think she's able to do that in a pretty unique way. You could probably learn something from that as a corporate marketer, I guess.
Well, for me, Taylor Swift is like our Princess Diana here in America. She's royalty, and she truly is beloved by all, and I think put on a certain pedestal that we haven't seen since Michael Jackson, to be quite honest. And she is just at the peak of all her powers right now.
My mom would stop in front of a record label, and I'd run in and hand them my CD, the receptionist, and I'd be like, "Hi, I'm Taylor. I want a record deal. If you could call me."
How did that go over?
It was sort of like, "Aw, little girl."
Oh, and she's sweet. Did you hear back from anybody?
I think I got a call from someone, and they were like, "Just want to let you know we got your CD, and we wanted to say keep trying."
Probably an early key moment was obviously probably everything with the Fearless era. I think that was like the big sort of breakthrough for her at first, and I think a big sort of moment of people recognizing her as this one country prodigy, but also this potential pop star.
It's funny because when I started hosting my entertainment show, she was one of the first stars that I had interviewed the first season of my show. And I just thought, oh, what a nice girl, and really talented. And I was really impressed that she was writing all of her songs, and I just said to myself, I'm sure I'm going to be seeing a lot of her in years to come. And I never did I think it would be shot to the stratosphere and the level she is right now. But I'm happy to see it because it's nice when nice people get rewarded and true talent gets rewarded.
She has done something that I have yet to see any other artist do, which is successfully cross over from country to pop and stay successful in pop. A lot of artists have tried to do the crossover. They might have one song that works, or they might keep trying with multiple songs that, you might have some success, but Taylor officially made the crossover and hasn't looked back, and it's worked out for her.
I wouldn't even know how to describe someone who can write 200 songs that you could probably have created 200 one-hit wonders. Like one person could take any of those songs and be famous from that song. And she's written that many. I mean, it's almost like just flowing out of her for whatever reason, all of her, her personal feelings, but the melodies and the lyrics and everything else. So she's she's like a savant.
You could do a collab like Pink, right? Pink is still pop, but she did with Kenny Chesney that song, and it was huge. And country's like, yeah, Pink's cool, but she stayed pop.
But you barely knew Pink was in it, and Pink was like Pink was like rough and tough.
Yeah.
But where Jessica Simpson was like, this isn't working out for me with pop. I'm just going to country, and they just all rejected her. But
so badly,
you can go from country to pop.
Oh yeah.
Because look at Swift. So Taylor Swift went.
She's a prime example of it.
She won all the awards, country awards or whatever, and then went to pop and became the biggest pop star.
We're not talking she released one album that was a pop album that did well. We're talking her the majority of her body of work has been pop and has been successful, and she's been selling out stadiums, which would she have been able to do that as a country artist? I'm not sure, but I think she had the foresight to say, you know what, I think pop is the lane that I'm gonna go in and conquer, and she did that.
One of the things that I believe is really important to remind people of is even before Taylor Swift made her seamless transition from country to pop, she was already incredibly successful. Taylor Swift had already released multiple albums that not just debuted at #1, but that debuted with over 1 million copies moved its first week. It was definitely a risky move for her to try this genre that was somewhat different, but there was that bridge album, Red, which saw Taylor experiment with sounds, and a song like 22, pure pop. There's really nothing country about 22. I mean, there might be some country flourishes, but that is a pop song.
I would say I became probably an even more massive fan with the album Red, which came out while I was in college. And I think this is a big part of Taylor for I think a lot of millennial women specifically who listen to her, is like kind of feeling like you're growing up with her. So I feel like a lot of those albums felt like they were kind of hitting exactly what I was going through at those times in my life. So Red was sort of a perfect, like, I'm in my early 20s and like, isn't this crazy type of like musical soundtrack. So yeah, I would say it was first Fearless, but Red was really the thing that made me a pretty big fan of hers.
Since her Fearless album.
Which was
she was like what, 18 when she did Fearless?
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
I've just been kind of
casually following her because I'm around her age. So it's been interesting kind of watching her grow into what she is now.
When I hear the Swift effect, I think whenever Taylor Swift drops a song, the impact, whenever she drops an album, whenever she now announces a project, how do we in radio get to be a part of that?
Happened over the weekend. Celebrity talent manager Scooter Braun reached a deal to acquire Big Machine Label Group. That's the independent Nashville-based label. Now, here's where it gets complicated, or gets interesting. Big Machine also owns the rights to Taylor Swift's 6 studio albums. And then a blog post over the weekend, after that deal was announced, Taylor Swift said she was, quote, sad and grossed out by the transaction. She accused Braun of manipulative bullying.
When something came up where her masters were no longer belonged to her and were being sold to Scooter Braun, she was very outspoken about it, and it became a thing where she wasn't going to let it happen silently, and she wasn't going to let that, happen to music that, again, she had really fought to have people respect and have people sort of recognize as being written by her, because these were her stories, these were her diary entries set to music.
That was really devastating for Taylor. She had, from what I can tell, a really hard time being at peace with this idea that she was the authentic author and artist of this music and these lyrics, and now somebody else was getting to control when and where they could be played.
I just don't see them replacing the original versions. Keep in mind, some of those huge hits she wrote literally when she was like a freshman in high school.
Right.
So now she's a 30-year-old, worldly woman. She sings differently. She has lost the sort of adorable country twang that she broke out with.
I joke she's become the villain of her earlier songs.
Obviously, the re-records, there are parts of them that don't sound the exact same. Her voice doesn't sound the exact same that it did when, she was 16, right? Like, the songs are not going to sound the exact same. She's not recording with the same people on all the albums. She's not using the same technology that existed in, 2012. Things changed so quickly. But, she's found a way to make it work where her fans, because they are so passionate, want to listen to the ethically sourced version of 1989. So they're going to listen to the version that Taylor is going to re-record. She's adding more stuff to it. She's making it this like greater package so that the payoff feels like really good and actually like makes it something that's successful and not like a throwaway product that she's just doing just to like prove a point.
But masters are only the recording of the songs and not the composition. Taylor still owns that for the songs she wrote at Big Machine, meaning she is free to release re-recordings of her previous albums to regain ownership of her work. She spoke about this with Seth Meyers last night.
So when something says in parentheses Taylor's version next to it, that means I own it, which is exciting.
My contention is that this is only the first salvo in negotiations with Scooter Braun, that she will never re-record her old stuff. She just wants to find a way to settle with him, maybe even take control of her own albums that she's already recorded. What do you think?
When Taylor Swift decided to re-record her first 6 albums, it was an unusual and kind of controversial move, but it was her saying, I want to control my destiny. I want to be the one to decide whether or not my song gets used in a movie or a commercial. I should get to make that choice. But what she did in re-recording those albums is she made them relevant again. She added new songs, she tweaked lyrics slightly, and yes, of course, her voice had changed and her perspective had changed. So what she was delivering to her fans was yet another product, something new and again, authentic to her.
When she comes back with Fearless and Red re-recorded, people are like, oh, you know, especially the people who maybe didn't get it before, hadn't listened to her before, were probably new to listening to her at that time. We're like, oh, so I, you know, didn't really get it the first time, but now I kind of see those connections between the songwriting, especially of like country Taylor in the past, to like what she was doing.
I do think that one of the reasons why Taylor is a billionaire today and is so successful in her career is because of these re-recordings. Normally when musicians pass through their career, they hit with a certain generation, a certain genre, and that generation, you know, happened to be in high school at the time or whatever it might be, and they are dedicated to that musician or that band or that group forever. And one of the things that the re-recordings did was it exposed a whole nother younger generation to these core albums of Taylor's from when Taylor herself was in high school.
If you're a fan of Taylor, you're a fan of Taylor, right? And for her to make new fans, yes, these re-recordings and re-releasing this music is important. I don't know if she got any more new fans from that. I mean, it was important for her to do it, and I think it was more of a personal thing that she brought her audience into.
In the wake of Taylor Swift re-recording her catalog, a lot of record labels have already started to change contracts with new artists that they sign. The Taylor Swift effect, it can be good and bad. If you're an artist that is popping on TikTok, for example, which is kind of the modern day MySpace, you have more leverage when you negotiate your contract with a record label. And even though record labels have changed their contracts because of Taylor Swift re-recording her catalog, if you have leverage, then you can use that to your advantage and get a deal that's favorable to you.
Private equity world has been buying music catalogs aggressively for the last 5 years and even more. And I think this is going to continue. Again, this is about recurring revenue streams, and remember the Bowie bonds and the ability of musicians to actually use collateral or cash flow streams in the future.
It wasn't just that she was re-releasing these albums and re-recording them, she was adding additional songs that no one had ever heard. So she was giving her fans a reason to buy them. It wasn't that they were just buying the same thing they had before. And so once again, Taylor Swift was proving to her fans that no matter what I'm going to ask you to buy, no matter what I'm doing for you, I'm always going to give you more. I'm always going to give you something that is going to make it worth your while, that's going to make me connect to you in a way that I hadn't connected to you before. And so the Taylor's version was just another way for her to connect with her fans. And it also, again, her fans wanted to support her. Nobody listens to the regular versions anymore.
By the way, I'm a big fan of Lobo. He re-recorded all of his one hit and wasn't the same. Check Please is
Never
next.
is.